seconds remaining. The series has been won by the New South Wales Blues. There goes the roar from the crowd. 16-12, it's all over.
The previous year, New South Wales won the series 2-1. 1994, Wally Lewis is backing up second series as coach, and Queensland win the first game of the miracle try in the dying seconds with Mark Coyne.
Here's the big fella, gets the pass on. Coyne goes for the corner and gets the try. Queensland, it's a miracle. Oh yeah!
In game 2, starting centre Steve Renouf was ruled out, and Mark Coyne has gone from the bench to the starting spot. Saturday morning, I get a phone call about 7:30. Ross Livermore, boss of the QRL, rang me and said Steve Renouf's under an injury cloud. He's got to do a fitness test. If he's out, you're in. Just gave Mum and Dad a quick ring just to let them know, and 20 minutes later Ross has rang me back to say that I was in, and it was just the most amazing feeling, to be a Queenslander and play State of Origin after all the times I'd watched it. It was just awesome. The year before, Wally was my coach at Seagulls and I got Player of the Year, and I said to him on stage that I'd see him next year, and Wally goes, "Oh no, I'll see you next week for the Triple A," and I went, no, I'll see you next year in Origin. So I guess I put it out there that I wanted to play for Queensland, and I got that opportunity. And Wally, a person who I just was my idol growing up, and to not only play Queensland, but to have him as a coach, have Chris Close as a manager was just awesome. Well, because I came in late, I just quickly got in my Daihatsu Charade with the dodgy clutch and drove to the hotel and just walked in and saw all these, Mal and all these players, and Trevor Gilmister and Billy Last and all those blokes, and I just was starstruck. But then we had our first session at East and took away all the nerves. Everyone treated me great, and the prep was pretty good, and the game was in Melbourne, so to go to Melbourne for the first time was pretty cool too. I couldn't believe how big the stadium was, and the bus drove under the stadium. How cool is this place? The bus can drive under the stadium. I was a country boy, so I'd watched AFL games and cricket on TV, and to go out there, the history, you could just feel it. Before anyone started talking, I hear Alfie Langer go into the toilet and he's just vomiting. So I'm sitting there going, oh my God, is it this bad that even Alfie Langer's vomiting? Like, it must be bad. And then someone said, no, he just does that before every game, which sort of half put me at ease. But I guess Wally and Chompy had a fair bit to say, and then just about the Queensland spirit and all that sort of stuff. And then Mal just had his say. He's pretty cool, calm and collected, but I just couldn't wait to get out there.
He plays first, and there's the start.
Yeah, New South Wales dominated. I thought we got a couple of unlucky calls on the night, but I just wanted to get out there. I just wanted to run on that field and be an Origin player.
So as Adrian Vowles comes into the match, Vowles has gone on for Kevin Walters.
It's like a surreal moment. It's like, is this really happening? Am I actually doing this? And yeah, I just wanted to get a touch of the ball. But I knew once I'd run on that I was a bona fide Origin player. It was an amazing feeling. I got tackled near the line by Laurie Daly and Ricky Stewart, and Ricky Stewart sledged me by saying, don't worry about him, he won't be here next game, which is true, I wasn't, so he must have knew what the selection was going to be. But for me, I'm thinking, how good's this? I'm at the MCG playing for Queensland in an Origin match, and Ricky Stewart sledging me. This is so cool. Every part of it was amazing. I'm just happy I got the opportunity, even if it was only one. Arthur Beetson only played one Origin, but you always want one more, and I think if you play two, you want three, but I'm just glad that I was the 81st player to play for Queensland. Yeah, head coach of the Brisbane Tigers BMD women's side, which this is my third year. Got some amazing young girls coming through and really loved being a part of it. Well, I first watched the game in England, the 2000 World Cup at Castleford. Australia played England, and footy over there was quite big at the time. The skill level now has just gone up so much, and then you've got young girls now, if they want to play rugby league just like their dad did or whatever, they can get that opportunity, and I think it's great. Yeah, well, the pathway to the Brisbane Tigers, we recruit girls from elsewhere, obviously locally as well. Overseas we've got girls from up north, and who just want that opportunity and want to play at the Brisbane Tigers. Even with my carnival that I run in Charleville, Adrian Vowles Cup, I've recruited a couple of girls that have played in that carnival, which is good. Just in this year's squad, we've got 3 Gatton girls, which is great. Them having the opportunity. They drive from Gatton each session, which I think is amazing. If we can help some kids in the bush go to a higher level, if that's what they want to do, I think that's great. I always wanted to be a coach because of Dad. Dad was a handy footy player, but he always did extra training, and as a young kid I always soon did extra training. I used to train with him as well, which was pretty cool, and Mum was a handy sports person as well, but they just working hard, and when you work hard you'll get luck, and I think that's pretty true. The harder you work, the luckier you get. And when Dad was a coach, we'd sit together and pick the teams, and I learned then, and I watched Dad, what he was doing with his coaching, and I always wanted to be a coach because of him. I remember doing my level 1 coaching course when I was 15 here in Charleville by the QRL, and I first started coaching over in England just with the Tigers, helping the 19s out there, and then one of the local clubs, Stanley Rangers. But when I was playing at Leeds, I got an offer from Wakefield Trinity to be a player coach in Super League, which unheard of, but I took the punt and became a player coach in Super League. And back then you got relegation, and they were coming last when I went there, so it came down to the last game whether we got relegated, and we won 50-10, and I scored my first ever hat-trick, and we stayed up, which was amazing over there, and I knew I just wanted to coach. It's funny, when I came back to Australia, that was what I wanted to do, but sometimes the path goes another way and I end up doing more business stuff, and I just kept coaching on the side, and Burleigh Bears, under 20s and some rep teams. And then I got the chance to work with the Queensland Women, which was amazing, and then part of the Gillaroos, which first Australian side that I've ever been involved with, which was amazing, and a lot of those girls are still playing today. And I coached the Fiji Bully Coolers as well, the national team, so my goal there is we want to qualify for the 2025 World Cup, so that would be massive for us, and hopefully we'll get that opportunity. I'd love the opportunity to coach NRLW at some stage, but if that doesn't happen, I'm very content with what I've done coaching-wise. Now I'm at the East Tigers. I think we can go all the way to the grand final. We don't have any NRLW players like the other teams, but we've got girls that we've brought through, and we're playing well as a team, and I think if we do all the right things and get a bit of luck along the way, we're a chance of going to the top.